watching the Resting State Network. I'm Ryan Cordell, and this is Cluster Analysis. Tonight we bring you an update from our neurometeorologist, Alan Fishbone. And then we take a close-up look at the effects of resting state research on today's youth. But first we begin in Paris, France, with the recent premiere of Le Septième Jour, or The Seventh Day, which has captivated audiences.
Ça veut dire qu'il y a une organisation du cerveau fonctionnellement présent même dans un état d'irrest.
Peut-être, j'ai même pas pensé à ça, j'ai rentré tout de suite pour te voir. Et donc, comment tu as fait cette recherche, cette découverte sur le cerveau comme ça?
J'ai lu les articles que tu as laissés ici, j'ai regardé, et finalement je me rendais compte qu'il y a toujours une région du cerveau en activité lorsque les gens sont dans un état de repos, ici et ici.
Donc voilà le lieu d'activité spontanée.
Oui, psychologiquement, on verra.
Le Septième Jour will be opening in theaters across the country this weekend. Bon appetit. Now we go to our very own board-certified neurometeorologist, Alan Fishbone. Over to you, Alan.
Thanks, Ryan. Well, let's have a look at upcoming intrinsic activity for the weekend. As you can see here, default mode network and task positive networks are up to their usual shenanigans, in and out, yin and yang. Looks like the usual pattern of daydreaming and intense concentration for the weekend. Default looking a little bit dominant. Visual looking good, motor looking good, as long as there are no sudden alcoholic fluctuations in from the south. And updated real-time satellite imagery indicates some turbulence in the precuneus region that could get very interesting early in the week. But, as the Latin philosopher Seneca said, quies inquieta est. Back to you, Ryan.
Thanks, Alan, whatever that means. Not everybody agrees that resting state research is in fact good for the kids. In order to discuss this controversial topic further, we brought together two experts in a little segment we like to call Hardballs. Welcome to Hardballs. With me today we have two esteemed researchers. On my right, Dr. Jan Schnitzel. We have Dr. Paul Salami. You ready to knock some balls?
I want to say that the growth in default mode in resting state literature has provoked good questions and good experiments, and these are all largely beneficial to the youngsters making their way into research, right? But I honestly don't think that studying rest itself is particularly useful. If you want to study behavior, you do it the old-fashioned way, like we used to do it. You do it experimentally.
That it is concerned exclusively with rest. This is not so. The important distinction is not between rest and task, but rather between intrinsic and evoked activity.
If we both agree that spontaneous activity is present in all cognitive states, I don't see why we have to link it specifically, Ryan, to rest.
We certainly don't link it exclusively to rest. But resting state is the condition under which these spontaneous fluctuations have most extensively been studied.
But that is fundamentally unpsychological.
No!
Unpsychological!
You are fundamentally unpsychological.
At least I'm willing to study cognition in the moment of the cognitive event.
Whoa, gentlemen, it's getting a bit hot in here. Let's take things down a notch. Actually, it looks like we're just about out of time. Next week on Cluster Analysis, we'll be hitting the road with Michael Bilham, legendary folk singers. He's traveling the road, sharing the history of the Resting State Network in song. Thank you for watching Cluster Analysis on the Resting State Network. I'm Ryan Cordell, and you're under arrest.